a fist. The thought itself, clench fist, is an abstraction, a desire. How does that desire cross the impossible gap from mind to matter? A signal, a spark of electricity, races down a nerve fiber at over 200 miles per hour. It reaches the end, a synapse touching your muscle, but it doesn't jump the physical space. Instead, the electrical pulse triggers the release of tiny packets of a chemical, acetylcholine. This chemical is just the messenger knocking on the door of the muscle cell. It drifts across the tiny gap and binds to receptors on the other side. This act isn't the command itself, it's merely the announcement that a command has arrived. The knock is answered. The muscle cell door opens, and a new wave of electricity spreads across its surface and dives deep inside through a network of tunnels called T-tubules. These tunnels wrap around an even stranger structure, the sarcoplasmic reticulum, which is essentially a delicate web-like bag filled with a captured, concentrated ocean of calcium ions. The electrical signal traveling through the T-tubules is the trigger that makes this bag suddenly porous. Its gates fly open. In less than a millisecond, calcium floods the interior of the muscle cell, raising its internal concentration by a factor of 10,000. This flood is the true, non-negotiable chemical command. Inside the cell are the actual engines, long filaments of a protein called actin. But these filaments are locked. A long thread-like protein called tropomyosin is wound around them, physically blocking the spots where motor proteins need to grab on. This molecular guardrail is held firmly in place by another protein complex, troponin. This is the lock, and the flood of calcium is the key. When calcium ions swarm the cell, they bind directly to troponin, causing it to radically change its shape. This shape change physically yanks the tropomyosin thread aside, exposing the binding sites on the actin filament. The engine is now primed and accessible. Poised and waiting nearby are the thick myosin filaments, studded with millions of tiny molecular heads. These are the motors. Each head is loaded with energy from an ATP molecule, the universal currency of cellular power. They are in a cocked position, like a stretched spring, humming with potential energy. With the actin binding sites now suddenly exposed, these myosin heads instantly latch on, forming a physical link called a crossbridge. The very act of binding triggers the head to release its stored energy, snapping forward in what's called the power stroke. It forcefully pulls the actin filament it's attached to, but only by about 10 nanometers, an impossibly small distance. The power comes from billions doing it at once. After the power stroke, a new ATP molecule binds to the myosin head, which has a fascinating effect. It forces the head to detach from the actin. The head then immediately uses that ATP's energy to recock itself, ready to grab onto a new site further down the filament and pull again. The crucial detail is that they don't all pull at once. It's an asynchronous process. While millions of heads are pulling, millions of others are letting go and resetting. This chaos prevents the actin filament from ever sliding back to where it started. It's not a single violent jerk, it's a smooth, continuous, and powerful pull, like a massive game of tug-of-war where no one ever lets go at the same time. To stop this process, the initial nerve signal simply ceases. The acetylcholine messenger is quickly cleaned up. But the contraction itself won't end until the calcium command is revoked. The cell now has to actively work to relax. Powerful pumps embedded in the sarcoplasmic reticulum begin burning huge amounts of ATP to frantically pull calcium ions back inside, fighting to move them from a low concentration area to a high one. As the calcium level in the cell plummets, it unbinds from troponin. The troponin loses its grip, the tropomyosin guardrail slides back into its blocking position, and the myosin heads can no longer grab on. The muscle fiber passively lengthens. It costs energy to contract, and it costs just as much energy to stop. You decided to clench your fist. But right now, your heart is contracting. Did you decide to do that? The machinery is almost identical. Calcium floods the cell, troponin moves tropomyosin, myosin pulls on actin. The fundamental engine is the same. The difference is the ignition switch. Cardiac muscle cells have their own internal pacemakers. A specialized group of cells generates their own electrical signals spontaneously, without any command from your brain. They are also electrically linked to their neighbors. So when one cell fires, they all fire in a perfect cascading wave. Your conscious will is not invited to this process. It is a self-sustaining, autonomous chemical reaction that keeps you alive. It goes even deeper. The muscles lining your intestines, your blood vessels, they are all contracting right now. This smooth muscle doesn't even use the troponin lock and key system. Instead, the influx of calcium activates an entirely different enzyme that directly modifies the myosin heads, switching them on. The chemistry is different, but the principle is the same. Calcium is the trigger. So what really is the difference between a thought that moves a limb and a reflex that digests your food? It's not the muscle, it's not the tiny motor proteins. It's merely the origin of the signal that releases the calcium. The molecular machinery itself is indifferent. It doesn't know what a decision is. It only knows whether the calcium is there or not.
Monotony has grown fast. Nearly 2,700 people have watched in the last few weeks, yet less than 0.03% are subscribed. It would mean a lot if you joined by hitting subscribe. And again, thanks for watching.